Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley. If you were trying to play Destiny 2 last night for launch day, and a lot of you probably were, you might have run into a number of roadblocks, especially if you have a PS4 Pro, which I was actually playing it last night on a PS4 Pro. It didn't have these problems, but there have been a number of reports, so it is happening, that these souped up PlayStations maybe are kind of, well, some of them having a problem with the game, with a whole lot of users complaining on Bungie's forums that the PS4 Pros are crashing while playing it. So glad that didn't happen to me. Bungie representative wrote that they are aware of the PS4 Pro issue and they're looking into it, but if you don't have a PS4 Pro, you still weren't safe last night. PSN-wide issues seemed to be affecting Destiny 2 and several other titles. Unlucky Guardians were greeted with an error message informing them that they were not allowed to engage in multiplayer services. Both Bungie and PlayStation have since confirmed this morning that things are now resolved, so you can go right back into that EDZ and hop in on some adventures. After the popularity of Bayonetta's PC release this year, people have been wondering about the potential future of the series as a whole and whether or not Platinum Games plans on revisiting the franchise. But now it seems that producer Hideki Kamiya is possibly confirmishing Bayonetta 3. On Twitter, when a fan asked Kamiya a lore question regarding the world of chaos in Bayonetta 1 and 2 and if it has a proper name like Gaia, Kamiya replied, "Wait till Bayonetta 3. That, of course, got fans all riled up, in a good way, because that makes the game sound pretty real. Earlier in the summer, another Bayonetta producer said the company was in talks about a potential sequel, but that's as much as we've heard since then. So this is pretty solid, kind of solid, but I mean, it's from Kamiya, so we'll take it. The rumor mill's been buzzing this week that publisher Bethesda is still sitting on an unannounced game for the calendar year 2017. Well, there's not a whole lot left for that. And part of that is because, well, Bethesda Vice President Pete Hines said so. Hines gave that information to Tech Syndicate in a PAX West interview over the weekend, stating, "We even have a game coming out this year that we haven't even told anyone about yet." So, PAX West, that was last weekend, and this is recent news. This isn't like, oh, a couple months ago, and then maybe there was something, but then it kind of slipped. No, this is recent. Unfortunately, for all you Bethesda fans, it looks like Hines maybe was possibly just talking crazy talk. So now we're all confused. Hines did clarify on Twitter yesterday, "I probably just had a concussion from the beating I took online and was rambling. Ignore." What? Come on. Nintendo fans and Switch owners were excited by the reveal last week that Suda51 was returning with an exclusive Switch game, Travis Strikes Again. At the time, the first impression of the game was that it's basically No More Heroes 3, but apparently that's not so much the case. In an interview with VideoGame Choo Choo, Suda51 sort of clarified what the game is, saying, "As you've probably noticed, it's Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. So No More Heroes is more a subtitle, there's not a number on it. This isn't a direct sequel, and it's not No More Heroes 3, but it does address some of the things that happened in No More Heroes 1 and 2. Suda later went on to say that if it does well, he hopes they can make a proper No More Heroes 3. So it's a sequel, not really a sequel, a spin-off, standalone, side story. Yeah, makes about as much sense as any of those games did, so we're right on course. One of Microsoft's big announcements at E3 this year was an exclusive console partnership. Well, for now, at least, with PC gaming's favorite battle royale shooter, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And now that partnership with Microsoft seems to be giving Studio Bluehole some very nice perks, including a team-up to share technology with Rare. In a new interview with GamesIndustry.biz, Brendan Green said of Rare, "I was at the Microsoft event last night talking to the Sea of Thieves guys. They said they loved the game, they played a lot, but oh, your water. I mean, our water is not very good, but Rare has great water tech. They said, we should share some knowledge. That's the great thing about being part of a network of studios. We can get that water tech essentially for free and we can share stuff with them." Oh, there you go. Better water in PUBG confirmed. It's gonna be so much nicer, guys. We'll see what other benefits the Microsoft partnership ends up providing when PUBG hits Xbox One later this year and can sell millions and millions and millions of copies there too. Killer Instinct was recently announced for Steam, which got some people wondering, will it have crossplay with other PC users? The game has already released for Windows 10, but apparently Microsoft's networks make a distinction between the Windows and Steam versions of the games, which means they're not necessarily compatible. Remember that's happened before and there were like 2 guys playing a game on the Windows version ended up refunding it because they couldn't get in a game with anyone because everyone was over on Steam? Well, Not to worry, this time it's been confirmed that everyone will be able to play together in peace and harmony, except, you know, trying to rip each other's heads off. No word yet on when the game is actually releasing on Steam, but we think it will be this year. If you never got a chance to play Noire, you're about to get many chances this fall. Oh boy, all those new games. 4 versions of the game will be released on November 14th. They are coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, HTC Vive, and the Switch. Rockstar just announced the game, which will include the full game and all the previously released expansions. Oh, and there are gesture-based controls too, using the Joy-Cons if that's your thing. The crime game, set in 1940s Los Angeles, was very well received by critics when it came out in 2011, earning scores in the high 80s on Metacritic for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. Didn't sell as well as Rockstar was hoping. I mean, it kind of got the studio that made it shuttered. But hey, good game. Now, if you did get a chance to play it, now you can. Ever wonder why most video game movies kind of aren't that great? Well, the director of the upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie has an idea, and I hope he's on point. Jordan Vogt-Roberts told GameSpot that a lot of it has to do with filmmakers not really understanding the source material and what made the games great in the first place. He said, "I think that filmmakers have looked at a video game movie and said, oh, that's flashy, that's cool, and there's very little desire to really understand the tone and the atmosphere." He compared them to comic book movies, which didn't get made for years, or, well, the ones that did get made, some of them were big, some of them were cool, but man, early 90s, not a lot of hits there. But then once the right filmmakers came along who understood the material, they took off. Vogt-Roberts added, "I'm just trying to be a part of a wave of guys who view the idea of talking about a movie and saying it feels like a video game as a positive thing as opposed to a negative thing. Soon people will not negatively associate games and movies. I think it'll be a positive comparison." It was fun. He also tweeted after Trevorrow was out as the episode 9 director. He said, "Even if I have to do Star Wars, I'd rather work on Metal Gear Solid." So there's a dude who loves what he's working on. Fingers crossed. There's a bidding war going on for the rights to distribute James Bond movies, and some pretty big players are involved. Apparently, Apple and Amazon are both trying to get the rights, along with Warner Brothers, who is reportedly in the lead. All of the Daniel Craig Bond films have been distributed by Sony Pictures through a partnership with MGM, but that deal expired after the release of Spectre, which means that the next movie is now up for grabs. In addition to Apple, Amazon, and Warner Brothers, Sony, Fox, and Universal are also trying to pursue the rights. So that makes pretty much everyone. Bethesda is again defending its paid mods that company officials swear are not actually paid mods, but they are. The beta for its new microtransaction mod store, Creation Club, recently went live for Fallout 4, and the internet did not like it, because if there's one thing gamers hate, it's paying for mods that are available free elsewhere, like the exact same things. In the same interview with Tech Syndicate we mentioned earlier, where he talked about another game possibly coming this year, Bethesda's Pete Hines acknowledged gamers' anger but stuck to his guns. He said, "I know people are upset and frustrated, but at the end of the day, mods are and will continue to remain free. Modders can continue to do whatever they want through our own stuff. Through Nexus. Go nuts." So why not call Creation Club paid mods? Well, because they have another word for it, apparently. In some recent tweets, Hines referred to them as mini DLC instead of paid mods. So there you go. It's pretty clear that Bethesda's never gonna use the phrase paid mods to describe Creation Club because they're, well, probably worried about another player revolt. So instead, we'll just get all this hair splitting, at least until Creation Club fizzles out or they, I don't know, have some crazy financial success with it. We all hate microtransactions and those keep working, so this is our world now. That's the news we have for this roundup. Let us know what you think of all these stories in the comments down below to make sure you get all the news from every corner of the internet, except, well, maybe not every corner, but a lot of the corners of the internet. Make sure you like this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to the know. Hines gave that information to Tech Syndicate in a pack. I was at the Microsoft event last night talking to the Sea of Thieves guys. They said they love the game, they play a lot, rip each other's heads off. No word yet on whether the game is actually releasing on Steam, or, well, when it's releasing on, damn it.